Boker Tov, Erev Tov, Yom Tov. We have the pleasure of being together with our Chavrusa Reb Tzvi, a little way from there, from Yerushalayim, Ira Kodesh. And unfortunately, we have to keep starting this year with the losses. And even right before I went on the air, I saw a second soldier today fell. We lost two soldiers today. שני חיילים נפלו, אחד משהו מיוחד, כל אחד מיוחד, אבל זה טל מובשביץ, בן 28 מרעות, היה נרצח מפיצוץ מטען במבנה בח'אן יונס, ואחר כך מישהו הכניס, someone put in a little video of Tal giving a pep talk to Chayalim, to Tironim, and it was Ivdu es Hashem b'simcha, and you have to see him the way he rallied around. It's so impressive, so inspiring. I'm going to put it into the Kvutza. I'm going to put in as a zecher for Tal. It's unbelievable what kind of neshama has. Hopefully we'll be Magen Aleinu. And then right before the air, I saw the second day. Today is Chaf Sivan. Actually, today is Chaf Aleph Sivan, but fell on Chaf Sivan, which is yesterday. Nevei Leshem Ben Esrim Mehit Nachalut.
I think by you it's still Chaf Sivan, isn't it?
No. We're already Erev.
It's 11 p.m. at night. It's just after 11 at night.
Etzleinu is Od Choshech, Aval Atat Tzadek. Etzleinu is June. What's today? June.
I don't remember. The English date is still the same, but the Hebrew date changed already.
Right. I think it's June 15th, and with you it's June 16th.
No, Sunday was the 15th.
Okay.
So was the 16th.
16th, and for you it's the 17th. Anyway, Nevei Leshem Ben Esrim me Hitnachalut Nokdim me Golani me Dorom Mitzurat Azah Hu Nafal v'Hamispar Lo Aleinu Ze 870 Chayalim fell beginning since October 7, 2023. Aval Etmol Balayla Emesh Nachon Toda Rabba. There were 40 tilim. There were Arba'im tilim, and from the Arba tilim, Shmona nirtzachu, 8 were killed, 95 niftza'u, 95 niftza'u, and since the beginning of the mivsa of the Rising Lion, 24 civilians have been killed from missile fire. And כשאנחנו מדברים, אני דיברתי אתמול על איזה תהילים, what kind? They are hypersonic ballistic missiles, and it most probably is from what they call the Fatah 2, which has a range of 1,400 kilometers, 870 miles, and Mach, out of speed of sound, can go up to 20 Mach, and has a warhead of 990 pounds.
Wow.
So we're talking about devastation. It took down buildings, and in fact, we're talking about 2 billion, 2 milyard shkalim on rechush and 20,000 tviot. אבל אתמול בלילה, או אפילו לפני זה, בבת ים, they have been taking bodies out, and אנחנו רואים שנרצחו בלינה אשכנזי, 94, 94 years old, מבת ים, מיכול ויקי נחום, בן 61 מבת ים, מאיר Vaknin, and 56 מבת ים, and also מבני ברק, a direct hit. Avraham Cohen, ben 75 מבני ברק, And then Dani Avraham ben 59 Mikiryat Moskim, who was in a Beit Zakuk at Til and Haifa. So again, different parts.
Wait, about Rega, I have one good piece of news. I don't know if you read it.
What is that?
I want to say it in English so that the people who don't understand it will really see it and hear it and appreciate it. That I believe it was in Bat Yam, they pulled out from under the rubble. Did you hear it?
Yes.
A 6-day-old baby. And the mother, and they're both, Baruch Hashem, in stable condition.
Okay.
There's nothing that is too much for HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Okay. Baruch Hashem. אנחנו מתפללים על שלומם. And then I was remiss. אני באמת לא ידעתי, אבל ראיתי רק ככה. כמו שאמרתי, היום זה כ"א סיוון, אבל בכ' סיוון הזכרנו את שני החיילים, אז אני מזכיר את הרב של ה-JFK, המנחס חינוך, יעקב, בשערי חסד, יעקב בן חנוך רבינוביץ, שהיה הרב של המייסד של המניין של מנחס חינוך, also known affectionately as JFK, נולד ב-1936 ונפטר ב-2024, היה ענין מהיהודי הקדוש מפסיכה, הוא היה בן דוד של שלמה זלמן אורבך, הוא למד בישיבת עץ חיים, הוא היה מקורב למשגיח אריה לוין. Did you know, Tzvi, that Aryeh Levine was the mashgiach of Eitz Chaim, the Rav, the prisoner Rav? I didn't know that. אחר כך ישיבת שבין, הוא קיבל סמיכה מצבי פסח פרנק ומשבין הרב, לפני 10 שנה ייסד את הבית כנסת מנחס חינוך, where I daven מנחה מהר daily in שערי חסד, והוא היה מקורב לאדמו"ר מגור, הלב שמחה. אז הוא היה צדיק גדול, בעל חסד, בעל צדקה, and we miss him dearly.
And Machnis many Bachrim and other Orchim in his home.
That's true.
Even though he was an Alma.
The whole minyan. I don't like the idea of JFK, so I call it JFKH, just for Kiddush Hashem. Anyway, today is the Yartzeit of Reb Shimon Sofer, Ubno Reb Moshe, Hashem Yimkom Damam, David Menachem Manish ben Yeshua Heschel Babad, Shlomo ben Elazar Shapiro, and we have to say a double portion of Tehillim today, and we're going to start with Perek Ayin Zayin. Oz. Vazim Elai. Eskara Elohim be'emaya ותתכסלה ולא אדבר. And I don't think it's split. It's not split. כמה תדור רגע אל כומר בקודש דרכך וזו עמך בני יעקב יוסף סלע מים אלוקים ברוך המים יחיו תהומות זו לא שחקים בגלגל רזה הארץ בים דרכך ושבילך במים רבים ועקבותיך לא נודעו נחית חצון עמך ביד Aron. And now we go to Perak Kaf Lamed. Moshe Chabusha. Adonai.
Is he good?
Oh, you don't see me? You see me now? What?
I see you a little piece of your beard.
Oh gosh. Get better?
Okay.
Like enlarged,
I'm there. Okay. Ahachenu. Kol beis. Ahachenu. Yisrael. Hanesu. B'tzara. B'tzara. Shivya. Omdim bein. Abasha. Yerachem, Yerachem Yosiyam, Lera, Me'afela liora, Umishibur legula, Bagala, Uviz, Man Kariv, Lomar, Amen. Okay.
Wait, do you see better now?
No, I think we're completely closed.
So I don't know what's other unless we reconnect.
Okay, anyway, we have to say, Lamnatzech al Yedusun, Asaf Mizmor, dem Mizmor, Zokt Asaf, das is Atfila, auf die Gezen und die Straf. Auf die Gezen is the laws, Gesetzen. I'm saying the Gesetzen, you hear that? 3? A Gesetz. A Gesetz is a law. Gesetzen is the laws. On the Straf. And what is the Straf? Straf is the punishment. On the Straf.
Hold on, how does that connect to giving a zetz? That's like to give a patch, you know?
Okay. Guess what? If you don't follow the law, you get a zetz. Anyway, Gesetz is enactment, und die Straf and the punishment was zenen durch auf die Yidden in Golis. This is what we suffer in Golis, and this is the parish for the beginning of Oz, which we just said, Ayin Zion, and Kuf Lamed, which is a standard for during the war, and everyone says Kuf Lamed and Kuf Chaf Aleph, but Kuf Lamed Shir Amalas Mimam Hakim Korosicha Hashem, von die Definition von Soros. Korasicha Hashem. Definition is like from the depths. Depth. The definition. Korasicha Hashem hab ich mispala gewen zu dem Rebbeinu Shalom. That's the Yiddish for me today. Do you have any Yiddish for us? Tzvi.
So I was thinking that a Gesetzman is a lawyer.
Yeah, it could be. It could very well be.
That's so interesting.
I would tell you actually, ich hab gehört, azoi v'gam ken in Hebräisch be'ivrit, advokat. Azoi menich, an advokat.
That's the way they teach it. A lawyer is an advocat.
That's right. That's what it is. But anyway, we are. Are you going to continue with us, Reb Tzvi? Do you have anything to tell us about Masha Koreh?
The matzav.
What? Slicha?
The matzav.
The matzav, nachon? Yesh lecha mashu lagid?
No, it's nothing. Nothing that I can really add. We're just hoping and praying that we can go back to Daven at the Koisel.
I was just about to say. I wonder who I got Shapiro, Michael Shapiro contacted me. He wanted to hear if we heard anything about Pardo, nuclear reactor. He wanted to know what we hear in the U.S. And then he said, of course, that they miss davening at the Kotel, as we are, all of us. We're
you know what they are? See what they're saying here. I mean, it's probably the same news, but what they're saying is that they really can't finish the job without the American help, because what it takes to take out the Fardo reactor are bombs that we don't have.
It's 3 miles down. 3 miles down in deep in the earth. It needs a cluster bomb, one of those super cluster bombs.
Well, hold on. Didn't Trump say today that he had, I don't know how many fighter jets were on their way over?
He said
it was on the news.
What you're saying,
on my phone.
They were called they were supplier.
Yes, but that was I heard that was something going on in Europe that was taking part of, not that it was coming to Israel, unless there was a camouflage.
Well, I all I heard is on my phone, the Israel Live news that comes to my phone. It said today that Trump said that all the people in Tehran had better clear out immediately. He said something is going to happen.
And then
he announced that they had, I don't know how many, I don't remember the number, American fighter jets that were on their way to the Middle East.
What's very interesting, I think he had a kiddush because he left the G7 conference, which is even better than better than the G4 conference.
I wonder what he serves that you guys don't serve.
Okay.
Fighter jets,
boomba,
and bombs.
Anyway, hopefully he'll help us in the Yeshua. So, Reb Tzvi, I hope you have a wonderful day. Chaim Tovim.
Chaim Tovim.
Okay.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
Now we're talking about the art sites today. Tzrichim la'azkir et refuah shlema la'Aryeh Leib ben Chai Tuba Lenny, Yair Nisim ben Ofra, Michal ben Amisara, Pesach Yosef ben Hinda, Pesach Kron, Aaron Tzvi ben Achama, Binyamin ben Daniela Margulis, Chaim Daniel ben Hodaya, Yisrael ben Inbal Esther, Ashira Rus, Bas Rivka, Pinchas Daniel ben Sarah, Yair ben Rachel Leah, Moshe ben Freda Leah, Zivug Noah Shalom ben Bela, Yehudis Bas Chana Rachel, Yaakov ben Rus, Yisrael Nisim ben Rachel. And we should have Yeshuos for everyone. That's where the schus, the two Tehillim that we just said, and also the learning of today. L'zecher nishmas Reb Shimon Sofer Beno Reb Moshe, Reb Shimon ben Reb Abraham Shmuel ben Yamin Sofer Nolad bePressburg. This is all in Hungary. Be'elef Shmon Chamishim 1850, V'nispa b'Shoah Begil Tishim va'Arba, which is very interesting. We lost in the bombing someone also from 94 years old at Chaf Aleph Sivan, which is today, Elef Chamod Avim Ba'arba Hayam Gdolei Chachmei Hungaria Begil Achadeshvei Nechnas Lumod B'Yeshivas Aviv Aksaf Sofer Ve'elef Shmonot Tishim Shivim V'Teisha Nasa Im Aviv the Congress HaKehilot Shitkayem B'Hungaria. Kvar beyoto yeled karu aviv Shimon beni achosid va'admur mibelz kinu Shimon HaTzadik al Torah levavo hasmadoso b'Torah shepartza kol geter anoshi kisheniznamin pam biyosi nar lifkosh et agon bal divrei chayim mitzans heviya agon hitpalu barabim hebitu b'fnei hayeled hazeh kama yiras hachet nikeres olav. Hikbid ma'od al kriyashma bismana shetigamer im netzachama bevasikim. That's davening the nates. Haya meniach tefillin shel Rashi v'Rabbeinu Tam. Rov hayom haya ma'utar b'tefillin shimusha rabba. So I looked up what is the tefillin shimusha rabba. Shimusha rava. It's the same Rashi Seder Parshios of Rashi. Ach shonot b'ktiva v'tzurat abatim. Misorat HaMekubalim. Rak keshenichnas adam shalom mimekur v'chiltzam kedei shelo ischade b'fnan. Shouldn't Yehora. He shouldn't be considered, too much of a chassid. He was an onav. Haya matzniya et chomrotav hayeterot. He would hide his chumras. Shelo litchasei b'fnei b'nei adam. He did not want to show that he is any bigger a tzaddik than everyone. He wanted to show that he's like everyone else. B'chol yom samich l'tzorayim sagar chol hachalonot beito leman lo yishma kol pa'amon haknisiot. He wanted. You ever hear Tohar Einayim? So this is the first time I heard Torah Aznayim. He made sure that he would not hear the church bells. Kedarko Shazikno Chasam Sofer. It seems that his grandfather, the Chasam Sofer, also had the same minhag not to listen to Tuma. Torah Chabei Lekayim Mitzvos Shekimat Nishtachu Begola Kach Bana B'Miuchad Bayis Katam B'Chatzero Lekayim Vasisa Maka Legagecha. The first time, I suppose, if he built a tree house. So he bought the tree house so that he should make a ma'aka, a special protection, so you could not fall off of it. Ma'od itztar b'tzaron shel achenu beis Yisrael b'medinas Poland v'Russia ad shepam achas toma amisha tzachak b'beis hamedrash. Someone laughed, just had this laughter in the beis hamedrash, and he said, Eich efshar lischok? How could you laugh? Bisman sha'achinu b'mkomot shonim nirdofim me'aveim. You see that the feeling for Klal Yisrael? He said, how could you be happy and be full of mirth and laughter when our wonderful compatriots, when our Klal Yisrael are being pursued, chased by our enemies? And surely, right now in the present matzav, Kol mi shabav v'chisaso hirgish miyad shelifanav omeid ish kadosh umufla shelifnei higiu echad me'evarav hayomei v'nimlach im kol echad me'arba chelkei hashonachah. Kol negia atzmid hayta rechoka mimeno v'chol ma shenaga lo le'atzmo hitnaheg b'chumra yetera. Ovda ofyanit ke'shachad mibanav talmid chacham atzum sheniyah achar kach gadol mefursam b'yoto tza'ir chipeis la'atzmo mishra kedei litparnes. He sought an occupation so that he could sustain himself. Bikeshma aviv lishtadel avuro, and asked his father to intervene on his behalf. Heshiv lo aviv b'gara. His father would say, "Sheyelech liot sabal, go and be someone, be a valet, be a person who carries things." What do you call that when you come into a hotel?
Porter.
A porter, right. Be a porter. Achosif aval tizah shelo tikne kova sabolim in amuchan beglach shatnez. But be careful what kind of porter's cap that you put on. Maybe it will be shatnez. ב-1881 נבחר לכהן כרב העיר Eger, Erloy, and who היה mechaber. This is what of his works that he authored. His Oros Tshuva, Shelas Tshuvas Ba'arach Halakim, Barov, Anvanotov, Hitpis Barosh Kol Daf Edaf, Ein Lismoch Al Harazu Klal. In other words, he had this disclaimer saying you cannot rely on this psak because he was such an unov. Ki lo bo laharos el orer. That's why he called it Hit Ororot Tshuva. He just wanted to inspire you. Achibur Potech B'Tshuva Arucha, Arba Esrei Amudim B'Inyan Minhag Anashim, Lo La'asot Melacha B'Rosh Chodesh, Ha'im Gam B'Layla, Ha'im Shnei Yomim. Reb Shimon Yised Yeshivat Ohel Tzion, B'Shnat 1881 B'Ir Oloi, Ba Hirbitz Torah V'Yirat Shamayim B'Meshech Shishim V'Arba Shanim. He served there for 64 years. B'Shanim Achronim Amad Liyamino B'No HaGaon Ramosha Sofer, Mechaber Yad Sofer. Lo pasak kol haTorah mibein kotlei beit midrashim ad hashoah. Ha'av b'no ha'nehavim b'chayim b'motam lo nifradu Allah al moked. They died together on the 21st day of Sivan in the year 1944, both together, father and son. Hashem yimkom damam. Reb Shimon haya b'zivug harishon choten Reb Yitzchak Fried me Kleinwarden nolad lo bat Gittel, כשנתיים אחר חתונתה נפטרה אישה נעורה ואחר כך נשא אישה ילידת רוסיה והתגורר שם כשש שנים. בשלישית בא בברית בנישואים עם מלכה אסתר בת רב זלמן שפיצר חותנו של חסם סופר. אחרי שנפטרה לקח לו אישה ממשפחת רבנים, משפחת היינריך מבורגלן, ביחד עלו על מוקד באושוויץ. פעם ראה רב שמעון סופר שאחד מבניו הצעירים מרבה לעיין בפני ישוע, והעיר לו כך, לו היה רואה אתך בפני ישוע, היה אומר לך, חדל לך בני, כי טרם עלית כרסתך במכסס הש"ס. בגילך מוטב שתרבה בלימוד גפת. Gafat is Gemara, Pirish Rashi, and Tosfos. V'rak b'limotcha yisugya ta'ayin gam b'pnei Yeshua. Okay, Ad Kan, Reb Shimon Sofer, Ubeno Reb Moshe. Hayom ze gam ken hayortzeh shel David Menachem Manish ben Yeshua Heschel Babad. Nolad ב-1865 ונפטר ב-1937. נולד בסטריסוב בפולניה. ב-1892 התמנה כרבו של סטריסלוב, ב-1894 כהן בברוב ב-17 שנה, ב-1912 התמנה כרב רייבד טרניפול. היה בבלז הקים ישיבה גבוה מגדולי פוסקים בגליציה. הוא חיבר חבצלת השרון. היום גם כן מראש אגודת רבנים בגליציה. היום זה גם כן היורצייט של שלמה בן אלעזר שפירו, נולד ב-1831 ונפטר ב-1893, היה רבה של סטאז'ז'וב, פולניה. ב-1857 היה רבה של מונקאץ', החל לנהוג כאדמו"ר במונקאץ', הוא חיבר שם חיבר שם שלמה בספר פדר שלום. אוקיי, עד כאן היורצייטים של היום. היום כ"א סיוון, כמו שהזכרתי, אנחנו ממשיכים בשמירת הלשון חלק שני, חתימת הספר פרק פ'. והנה, אנחנו מדברים על מי האיש החפץ חיים, אוהב יום לראות טוב, סור מרע. מה זה סור מרע? כולל כל עניינים של רע. What's considered רע? גזל, theft, וחמאס, ועלבונה, and fraud, ורibis, usury, ulhonos, to mislead, lizulaso, lahabim panav, kadoma, to shame a person, barabim, which things of that nature, that's considered raw. Evil, wickedness. Ba'asei tov, what's considered doing good? Kol ninei hatovos, kitzdaka, charity, gmilas chasadim, loving kindness, achzokas mishamata yodo, to help a person who's fallen in hard times, kruas mesim, meis mitzvah, bikur cholim, to visit the sick, vachnosas orchim, to invite guests, hashavas aveda, returning a lost item, hashavas avot, essential collateral to return, v'sashlume sachir bizmano, to pay wages on time, kadoma, and things of that nature. Or harbe mitzvahs sheben adam chavera, and other mitzvahs that are man and his fellow man. Ve'al kulam, tzorech adam lasum et libo lezorez datzmo l'kaiman kamo shereinu b'mitzvah shofar, shel kol echad ratz l'kaima. Everybody wants to do Mamkayim the mitzvahs of shofar, kein tzorech, yos v'chol mitzvahs l'rutz achreim, l'smoch b'kiyom. We have to have the same zrizus, the same celerity, same exhilaration and simcha and happiness to enjoy, to fulfill all the mitzvahs. Kamo she'anu omrim b'chol yom, al kain Hashem Elokeinu. My dear Rebbetzin, when we say this, al kain Hashem Elokeinu b'shachveinu v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha v'nishmach b'divrei sorasecha mitzvasecha v'olam v'oed. I'll give you a hint. It's in Ma'ariv. Avas olam beis Yisrael amcha hafta Torah mitzvos chukim mishpatim limanata, and we al kain Hashem Elokeinu b'shachveinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha. So anyway, but for Naseinu Rabbim anu medabrim im Kadosh Baruch Hu shenasa kain. We ask a Kadosh Baruch Hu that when we go to sleep and when we get up, we should always talk on Torah, and we should be happy with Divrei Torah, Le'olam Vo'ed. V'anu ovrim hazeh, but yet we transgress this. Mikum abam shomer chakron yizikron l'rachal pasuk krum zulas livnei adam. When baseness is exalted among men. In other words, krum, it's actually in Yiddish, krum, it's like things that are not, instead of things that are of a high level, things of the lowest level, that is exalted, is praised. We're talking about them every mitzvah. You should praise it and be inspired, and yet we abandon him. What is basically the general rule? Person should be careful to perform all the mitzvahs, whether it's between man and God, and between man and his fellow men. Because these are all the words of God. Dvarim lamed beis mem vav mem zayin asher titzavim epinechem lishmor lasos kol divrei es kol divrei Torah zos ki lo davar reiku mikam. It's not meaningless. Ki hu chayechem. Our Torah is our life. V'hainu shelo yachshav adam b'nafsho leiz mitzvah she'enu rak lechatchila liyapos adam. We shouldn't think that doing a mitzvah is make you look good. V'zeh amar ki hu chayechem. We know that it's just our blood, our life blood is the Torah. Shekamo, just like we know every limb in our body gives us life. And we need every limb in our body for continued good health. So it's with every mitzvah keeps us alive, our neshama alive. And everything's necessary to keep the neshama going. As it says in Ecclesiastes, Perak Yud Beis Yud Gimel, Sof Davar Kol Nishma. The bottom line, everything is heard. As Elokim Yirah, as Mitzosecha Shmor. You should have fear of God and you should observe all His commandments. Ki zeh kol adam. That's why we're here. That's what constitutes a man. Through fearing Hashem. Meila avor al shum lo saseh. So what is Yirasakim? To make sure we do not transgress the prohibited laws, lo sasa, ulakayem kol mitzvosav, and to perform all the mitzvahs, all the performance that we were commanded to do positively. Zeh kol adam. This is all man. What if you ask a person, what is Adam Sholem? What constitutes a complete man? Masha ein kain im tikdam be'enov. However, if a person belittles and makes unimportant chas v'sholem eza mitzvah, any mitzvah, az hu chaser b'nafsho, then he's lacking. He's not a full man. And I wish everyone that you have a Yom Tov. We should have Soros Tovos, and we should have Shalom al Yisrael.